Awesome. Um, well, we will revisit. We are at session 39, and I took a little bit of time to chart our path to the end. We are in the end game here. Not imminent, but there are definitely some shifts that have happened in the last couple episodes as we've moved towards this point. And tonight I'm just going to give you a little heads up. There are some narrative moments that will be helpful for me to get through, and then I'll let you react to them. But I am going to be trying to do some conversations by myself with a bunch of different characters. I don't think that I can pause and have you react every moment along the way. So I'm going to have a few moments where I'm just going to tell you what scene happens, and then you can respond how you would like. But I do think that we will have some time. Hopefully, we'll see how far we get tonight, but I think we might be able to get pretty far down the pike. But I think the first part here will be fun. Let's start with our recap, though. The party got down to brass tacks with the Oracle Kolema following an altercation with the 25-year-old Geordie, who they found in the year 2499, pleading his case to the elderly elf for assistance. Kolema had spotty knowledge from his point in time, but was persuaded by the group's insistence that the future Strixhaven was in genuine danger of annihilation. He conceded that they could take the Vitae Prius, the staff of Lorehold, as long as they returned it when they had saved the school. The party used one of their precious wish spells and traveled back to the year 2849 with the staff. It was a difficult decision, but after Pelanistra showed them an initial poll with Casimir and Jojira in the clear lead, the party decided to use a second wish spell to remove the power and bondage of her auric tattoo. Indigo volunteered, and she and Pelanistra went into the wild magic zone of the Fury Gale, finding the hidden snarl which allowed Indigo to conduct the ritual. Garrett was confronted by a disguised Sirs who threatened that if Garrett didn't put enthusiastic support behind Jojira's bid for the Oracle, Sirs would report to the school leadership that he knew that Garrett murdered Flint in the ethereal plane. Professor Jojira gave an inspirational and compelling interview with Shushu to tout his platform in his run for the Oracle. It was potentially only the party who picked up on his promise to raise an army of 1,000 mages in the process, the exact number of souls they knew he owed to the approaching Demigoth Titan. MacGruber called upon his parents to put some clout behind an endorsement of Yelvin Davo as the Lorehold Oracle candidate. It was quite successful with Yelvin and Jojira being neck and neck going into the primary. On voting day, Lorehold campus gathered to hear the results. Yelvin Davo won the popular vote, but in a surprise turn of events, he was found murdered in his office before the announcement could take place. Jojira was thus named the candidate by default, leaving the campus reeling. The Chancellor issued a firm warning against meddling in the natural process, saying that an investigation into the murder would be ordered and any culprits would be presented to the founders for their judgment. MacGruber used the staff to peer into the past to discover that two members of the Auric, the She-Goliath Skywatcher and the Minotaur Drazimir. The seriousness of Geordie and the Auric's commitment became very real, and the stakes rose substantially. The party was pleased to see Pelanistra easily gain the Quandrix seat, but the fight was far from over. The party each used their influence to help the campaign. Ovi used his platform with Incendio to endorse Pelanistra. Garrett confirmed Professor Gremiak's support of Pelanistra, although was not as lucky with Rizix and the child professor Archimenexes. Indigo gave up her holiday home to stay and help the Pelanistra campaign. The fight is between Casimir, Jojira, and Pelanistra for the popular vote. Jojira's platform rests on a promise to restructure Strixhaven, addressing many flawed policies and practices. Pelanistra's platform is one of helping usher Strixhaven into a new era strategically, and Casimir's platform, however, is about bringing fortune and resources to Strixhaven, essentially turning it into a political powerhouse, a beacon of magical might and opulence. The vote is a day away, and the party has received an invitation by Dean Bectus at the vault of Yelvin Davo. But before we go visit that vault and hear what Dean Bectus has to say, you all had a chance, some of you had a chance to return home for the holidays. And the fairy twins in particular had a plan. And I'm wondering if you would like to share the story of what happened on your twin holidays.
Well, have you seen the movie Parent Trap?
Never heard of it.
We did not discuss, but nope, totally forgot that was a thing.
If you want to text us later, you can, if you're not prepared to. But
Okay.
I think the plan was that y'all were going to switch places, right?
Yeah, we definitely did that.
Yes, we were following the typical Parent Trap.
Yeah.
Lizards,
Lizards
but we
on Meredith, shit like that.
So Hattie went to Orchidshire, where Mama lives, and Delta went to the vineyard. That's right, to the dress shop.
Yeah.
And Delta went to the vineyard with Papa. All right. Well, if y'all want to tell us what happened, like, it's all yours.
I think he prefers to be called Daddy, actually.
No.
If AI has anything to say about it.
Yeah.
All right. So as you show up at the Ovi.
Sorry. I need to run something by you since I wasn't present when we found out about the death.
Okay.
How's were we were able to, just to confirm, actually enter the crime scene, or did they stop us? They did stop us from going in.
Yep.
Okay. That's
So the
fine.
vision was of those two individuals leaving the office.
I understand. Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
That's all I needed.
So as you all head to Lorehold campus, the Sphinx Dean Bectus, who helped you go to the past, meets you at the door. The guards there allow her and you all to enter the room. It has been tidied. You have been here. A couple of you have been here at least once before. At least MacGruber has. And this is it's a very simple office, but it really is a space dedicated to stories. And as you look around, the trophies and the artifacts and the art is all clearly very meaningful and curated. It's very museum-like. You'll notice that there in the room there is a table for his artificery. You know, he was a weapon maker. And then there is a metal gate that is closing the entrance to the inner vault. And you would know there's an inner vault. That's where the items were stolen that Kithri used in the summoning. And then there's a back vault that has even bigger stuff in the back there. As you go in, though, Dean Bectus pulls out a scroll, and she says, I know that the stakes have risen, and Professor Davo's death is truly a tragedy. However, you all have been named in his last will and testament, and he has bequeathed to you some items that were his to disperse. And I will show you the items that are now available to you. These are all in D&D Beyond, and you all can discuss how you want to divvy these up. There are a few exceptions, or a few restrictions. So I'll tell you the Cloak of Invisibility does what it says it does. The Belt of Cloud Giant Strength will make somebody very strong. The Ring of Evasion is going to help you with dexterity saving throws. You basically get to decide to succeed on a dexterity saving throw up to 3 times a day if you do fail. The Mage Bane Mask is an interesting, I want you to look it up if you're interested in it. You basically put it on, if you can get it onto someone's head, it basically limits their spellcasting ability pretty significantly. The Enspelled Bow, you have to be proficient with ranged weapons, and it has the ability to cast a spell called the Swift Quiver spell. Shelby, you might want to look into that. And then the Enspelled Rod has a spell called the Word of Recall, which is only available to clerics. But it is basically a form of teleportation. Group teleportation. So I'll let you all figure out how you all want to divvy that up.
I am the only cleric in our party, so there's that.
My mom, Angela, she's also.
Does the cloak make you invisible, or does the cloak go invisible?
As you put it on and you know you're wearing it, but nobody else can see it?
Exactly.
No, it's you can look it up in D&D Beyond if you want to look in your inventory and see. It's a pretty high-powered deal. You can cast spells while you're wearing it and all sorts of stuff, I think.
I have invisibility as a spell, so if someone else wants that.
I think me and Fanny both do too.
I feel like we should give the mask to Indigo because she's got pretty good sleight of hand, so she's probably going to slam that on someone's face at some point.
Oh, okay.
I would read the description.
I would go to Jordy's room in the middle of the night and just put it right on him. Super glue it on him.
There is a like strength dexterity check with putting it on. Since there's a contest that has to happen to get it on there, but you can get it on. They can't take it off, and I don't think they can cast spells at 5th level or lower if they're wearing it or something like that.
I do
Needs to wear the belt, the ring of evasion, and slam that mask on someone. But I'm not particularly, for this being my guy Yelvin, none of his magical will items are doing too much for me.
Yeah, I don't think I need really strength. I'm a sorcerer, so.
Do you need
yeah,
a rod? Enspelled rod, sorry. Fucking
no,
myself.
No, that's Seth's, because he's the cleric.
Well, to be clear, is that if somebody else uses the rod, can they use that spell, or will it only be effective if I use it?
They can, but by definition, that spell requires a sanctuary to a deity to be set up. So
Okay.
I'm willing to hear your proposal, but a god does have to be involved somewhere.
Okay.
Who has the worst dexterity, and they can wear that ring? Mine's +2.
I don't know, but I feel like I need that bow.
I'm not finding the bow in the inventory.
Great. Let me see. What's going on?
Or me either. There's nothing within spelled.
Really? Okay.
But I'm guessing it just shoots good.
The bow, so the Swift Quiver spell, if you want to look that up, basically, Shelby, that the Swift Quiver spell would let you double the number of arrows you could fire every turn.
Do I have to use that bow when I do it?
Yes. Well,
No.
you know what? All it says is that it casts the spell. So if you want to have, I don't know if you have to be attuned to it. That might be worth looking into.
That's fine. I'll still have it, please, everyone.
I mean,
Do the fairies need giant strength?
Well, that ring would give you strength no matter, even if Delta wild shaped, she would have it. So you could make yourself a super, super strong animal too.
The ring or the belt?
The belt.
The belt?
Is that going to mess up your fashion? Because that face on it's kind of weird.
It is kind of, I was also looking at the mask, but I do like, what?
I'll let you redesign it.
I mean, I think it could be like vintage chic It'd be a great waist trainer.
It's not
That's how you get
magical
stronger.
cord.
Okay, the belt. Cool. Okay, I'll add it.
What do you need for the mask? You said strength and
Sleight of hand.
Yeah, dexterity, I think.
The ring is if you have bad dexterity.
Is that-
Well,
Eric, what are you
bad.
looking at?
It just increases it. So, right?
Maybe
It
you
gives you a better chance.
I don't think I already have a couple magical items.
Brian's
I think I'm good.
swinging a big dick tonight.
I got my Dagger of Shadows and my Far Realm Shard.
Wow, that makes me really strong.
the belt.
Yeah.
My dexterity is +8, so I think I'm good.
Okay.
I'll take the
Wow,
ring, and then if
I'm all blinged out. I got no attunement slots. So
Oh wait,
I'm
that's
out
my
on the ring.
saving throw. My dexterity is +3.
Oh yeah, I also might have them left.
Do any of these items not need to be attuned?
No, I think they all need to. They're like the highest powered items in the game besides the Sotera Opus. So they all require attunement.
Probably give us more
I'm
attuning to
attuned to a bunch
that
of stuff already. So I'm good.
Well, we can still hang on to them and just attune to them once in a while.
Sure.
Tell them.
Yeah, I can
Right.
take all the leftovers if you guys don't want anything.
Right.
I
Definitely.
feel like that's a
definitely
nice
collect
compromise effort. No
I have a
one's
lot
giving
of
you
good
the
drawers
carrot
and
open.
stuff.
But wait, can you keep them safe though?
Can I keep them safe? That's my thing.
I can't tell you how
Chris?
bad I want someone to break into your house just to prove that's right. All right. Well, y'all can play around with these items, see what you want to do, and keep in mind you can give these items to NPCs that you want to bolster up as well. So think about your allies. That could potentially be helpful as well. But without further ado, let's move into the day of the announcement. And I will tell you, I had a lot of fun being super nerdy and crunching all the numbers. And I factored in every move that you put in and put a reasonable weight behind it. So this was not, I didn't railroad this into the story. This is how it fell out, and I was prepared for whatever happened. So it kind of was very interesting how it all panned out. But the day of the announcement, everyone at Strixhaven gathers in the right outside of the Biblioplex. And again, we're talking thousands of students from all of the colleges. A stage has been set up, a platform has been set up under the Dawnbow, which is the symbol of the founders' origin story. It's the story, the legend is that the Dawnbow, these floating rocks in this half-moon shape, came to life and to those resting places at the birth of the founders themselves. The Chancellor stands up and calls the party, the crowd to attention, and he says, "Welcome one and all to an event that happens once in a generation. Together, today we gather to celebrate the installation of a new oracle, a beacon of hope and power to the multiverse, a being commissioned to expand the reach of our illustrious school, and an individual empowered to stretch the bounds of magic to their farthest reaches and beyond. Today is a rare occurrence. The esteemed founders of our great school join us to appoint and install your new oracle, and I expect their arrival is imminent." As a hush kind of falls over the crowd, waiting to see what happens, off in the distance you see these thunder clouds. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's very sunny, beautiful today, but this thunder cloud begin to quickly roll in over the campus of Lorehold. And in this dark thunder cloud of lightning, you see this bright red giant horse. And astride that horse is a man on the back, long brown hair, kind of Indiana Jones fedora on, leather jacket, whip at his hip. And he comes galloping in over the crowd in midair and then lands on the stage itself. MacGruber, you recognize this as your patron, Velamachus Lorehold. Next, you see this ball of light come over the campus of Silverquill and begin to fly, this surrounded by these angels that are singing and hitting shields with swords as the ball of light travels over the crowd and then whoosh, kind of beams down next to Velamachus. And Ovi, you would recognize this as your patron, your ancestor, Shadrick Silverquill. Dark ebony black skin, tall, thin, clerical robes with kind of some muted jewelry, kind of an amulet on his chest. Through the, coming up the road from Quandrix campus is this mechanical hamster ball that's just rolling in and around with all of these moving gears and parts. And so all of a sudden the ball rolls its way up the stage, and cracking like an egg, you see this gnomish woman with short pixie blonde hair, sweet smile on her face, tool belt, overalls, and she kind of waves happily at the crowd as her construction kind of dematerializes into something reasonably small that she just clasps on her hip. You see next from Prismari campus a rainbow come from the campus over the Conjurat Hall and down onto the stage. And you see this sparkle of fireworks and colors until finally he teleports himself, and this garish blue-haired man, this individual you met in the astral plane, Galazeth Prismari, stands there. He's got thigh-high boots on of alligator skin and peacock feathers and all this stuff. It's exactly the way you captured him, with a little more pizzazz. And then finally, over Witherbloom campus, you see this fairy surrounded by these vulture hawks, dozens of them, kind of flying in with this very powerful and ominous sense. And they make, kind of like the Blue Angels, make their circle over the crowd until floating down, you see this diminutive older woman fairy that alights there. And then the birds fly away, but they stay seated on the rocks to watch the floating rocks of the Dawnbow, to watch the proceedings. The Chancellor speaks up again as soon as the crowd dies down, and says, "Your Excellencies, it is an honor to have you today. We've been eager for your return, and preparations have been made to celebrate the most important of events. And all of a sudden, he stops. Out of the crowd, you hear this voice, "Make way!" And you look out and you see one of your classmates. This is Caraway Savarax. She's the Silverquill student that you know from her dreamscape is a dragon herself. And as the crowd kind of gives her space, she begins to transform into her green dragon form. In her form, she is still missing an arm and a leg, but she does flap her wings until she is hovering over the crowd. She's a bit smaller as far as dragons are concerned, but all eyes are on her, as are the founders, who are looking up at her, confused at this interruption. And the voice comes out, and she speaks in Draconic. So I know, Shelby, I think, who speaks Draconic? You do? Okay. A couple of you do. But the rest of you, if you want to attune your ear cuffs, you have an ear of comprehending languages. But in Draconic, she addresses the founder dragons. And in this kind of guttural language, she says, "Honorable founders, it is most auspicious to be able to greet you all in Congress on this most hallowed of occasions. I have been on campus for 9 months and am pleased to report that Strixhaven has lived up to its pristine reputation. After a thorough immersion into the ranks of this school, I am prepared to discuss joining your ranks and pioneering the final academic curriculum necessary to complete the hallmark of each of your respective colleges. With your appointment today, I will join the ranks of the founders, build a new campus, and will introduce a robust catalog of instruction exploring the philosophy of power and weakness. Lord Velamachus, Lorehold, I presume you have shared my qualifications and interest in this process with the other founders, and I am ready to and that you are ready to proceed with my induction into your ranks." The founders all kind of look at Velamachus like, what is she talking about? And Velamachus stands forward, kind of squares his body, and still in his human form, he says, "Miss Savarax, I presume. Your letter did reach me, and I have contemplated your request. We acknowledge your interest and your qualifications, but to join our ranks is not an offer that we extend." Belladros speaks up and says, "Miss Savarax, I presume?" I'm sorry. She says, "What my brother has neglected to mention is that, as often happens, he did not include us in this decision, and I, for one, reserve my own judgment in consideration of your request." Shadrax speaks up. "I concur with Velamachus, but wonder what territory my honorable sister is willing to give up of her own campus to accommodate a new campus at this school." Belladros responds, "I'm surprised, honorable brother, that you would dismiss such a request from your own student, and that you do not consider your own campus to make up for Silverquill's diminishing enrollment." Tanazir speaks up, the little gnome woman. She says, "Now come on, everybody. Miss Savarax is giving us a great compliment. She likes our school so much she wants to make it better." And Galazeth, who's standing right next to her, kind of like bites his nails. He's like, "Oh my God, Tanazir. She's proposing a school of power. Read the room." Velamachus, kind of ignoring everything that's happened, looks back at her and says, "Miss Savarax, our answer is final, and we have other business to attend to." Belladros speaks up. "The decision is final for now. Come see me, little dragon. We may have a place for you still. But now is not the time." And you see Caraway give a few more flaps, kind of weighing her odds, having made this bold statement and figuring out what it will mean to save face. Eventually, she does bow her head to Belladros and turn around and fly off and leave. She does not stay. The Chancellor comes back and tries to regain order. And he says, "Returning to our business at hand, we are honored to have 4 candidates to present from the schools of Lorehold, Quandrix, Silverquill, and Witherbloom. And I present to you Professor Jojira Narkales of Lorehold, Dean Pelanistra Clenier of Quandrix, Professor Casimir von Morak from Silverquill, and Dean Osmagod of Witherbloom." You hear each of the schools applaud when their candidates, their kind of signature candidate from their school is named. And as it quiets down, he says, "Our student body has been diligent to consider all of the candidates' strengths and held a vote per our bylaws for our great school. I am pleased to present to you the candidate who received the highest vote of popularity, Professor Casimir von Morak." Silverquill campus goes crazy, as do his many other supporters from the other campuses. And he makes his way up stage, this flashing grin on his face, waving, thank you, thank you. And as he goes up, the chancellor then kind of pats him on his back, but leads him to some chairs that are off to the side. And he says, now, as per tradition, the founders will debate the 4 candidates, and will soon make their announcement of who will assume the role of our new oracle for this next generation. As the founders kind of huddle up, they're talking loud enough for everybody to hear. And they begin to debate as if no one is there. Velomachus speaks up first. He says, as is tradition, let's take a preliminary vote to see where we stand. He raises his hand and says, my vote is for Jojira, the Lorehold candidate. Galazeth, he votes for Jojira. Shadrax raises his hand quickly and says, Casimir, it's the popular vote, the easy decision. Tanazir speaks up and says Pelanistra. Beladros votes for Osmagad, and everyone looks to Galazeth, the one founder without a candidate in this match, in this vote, and places a vote for Pelanistra. With a tie between Casimir and Pelanistra, they begin to debate, and Shadrax speaks up first. He says, come now. The popular vote is Casimir. The students, the faculty, they have all spoken. This is an easy decision. He's a clearly qualified candidate. He has been on campus for an extended period of time, and he has an impressive skill set that will usher Strixhaven and elevate our status in the multiverse. Velomachus speaks up and says, now, Shadrax, we've discussed over the millennia about candidates and their immortality. Beladros speaks up and she says, yes, I agree. So maybe we should just take those candidates off the table, and looks directly at Shadrax when she says that. I'll change my vote to the Lorehold candidate, Jojira Narkales. So if you're keeping track, that's a 3-way tie now between Casimir, Pelanistra, and Jojira, eliminating Osmagad from the running. Shadrax looks at Beladros and says, you do this every vote. This is merely spite. Why would you dismiss the voice of our community? Beladros looks back and she says, the spite is just the bonus. Tanazir stands up again, trying to make peace, and she says, Bella, I know, you had another chance to have a candidate, and there's going to be more times. I'm just so sorry your candidate didn't get, chosen this time. Come on, you guys, wouldn't we want to consider Osmagad and give Bella a chance? And Shadrax looks at her and she says, this decision is far too important to concede on principle. This is about our school and what it represents. And Velomachus says, I'm inclined to agree that the gravity of this decision is quite imperative. And Tana just looks at Beladros like, sorry. Velomachus looks at Galazeth and says, brother, what say you about this? And Galazeth just looks at everyone, crosses his arms, and says, well, the truth is, I'm not happy that my candidate was assassinated. This is clearly more important to some of you than it is to me. If we're not going to talk about an inquiry into why we're having this conversation so soon, then I just don't really care what happens next. And Tanazir kind of goes up and puts her hand on. She's like, I know. I'm so sorry. Shadrax speaks up. He says, that is true. It is truly unfortunate, the series of events. The oracles are given nearly godlike powers and are expected to protect themselves and be able to defend themselves in some of the harshest areas of the world and underworld. And Beladros is affronted and says, of course you would use Galazeth's loss to bolster and promote your own political agenda. Because of course Casimir would be formidable as an oracle, right? Velamachus speaks up quickly and she says, you're right. An inquiry must take place. This is intolerable. And this cannot be the reputation of the highest level of leadership within our school. Beladros looks at Velamachus. She says, what's your decision then? Are you going to support the best candidate? Or are you going to acquiesce to Shadrach's hissy fit? Shadrach looks at her and says, Casimir is an exemplary candidate, and it is the popular vote by the school. Maybe consider presenting a candidate of any notable potential next time. And then looks at Velamachus and says, what are you going to do? Velamachus looks at the group and he says, kind of takes a deep breath and he says, I change my vote to Casimir von Morak. As the founders go quiet and you feel this tension in the air between them, they go quiet as the decision is made. The chancellor steps back up. Let's see, where's the chancellor? Chancellor. There we go. And he says, by the decision of the founders, I hereby seal that Casimir von Morak will be named Oracle at a ritual ceremony to follow. You hear the crowd go wild. You hear some boos. You hear this kind of distinct like happiness and disdain for this decision. And as the music starts playing and you see kind of this fanfare as things begin to wind to a close, you see a lone figure take off and fly in the air. And Professor Jojira, the Geordie you know, flies up and a booming voice, boom, silences the crowd as everyone watches him hover 50 feet in the air speaking to the founders. And he says, Your Excellencies, this decision could not have been easy. While I am aware of my limited tenure here at Strixhaven, I express my disappointment at your lack of support in my campaign and the changes I believe must be made at our school. Your absence in the halls of this school is palpable. The accomplishments of this school are sadly marred by an egregious lack of leadership. The shackles placed on the faculty of this college are a travesty. You have imbued power into the very ground we walk on, yet forbid that use of that power to any productive or morally obligated end. Strixhaven is a sham. Beings of near godlike power live sequestered in ivory towers, blind to the plight of the common creature. You yourselves live divorced from the responsibility that comes with the power to wield magic, and you should be ashamed at your self-imposed impotence. For what purpose does magic exist but to create a world, a multiverse, where all are empowered, where all are cared for, where all are free? You have chosen to hoard that power, to keep it from those that need it most. And what's worse, you have indoctrinated generations of mages to do the same. You have before you the chance to right this egregious wrong. It is time to send the students of Strixhaven out to the real world with a mandate to enact true change. No longer should Strixhaven be a fortress, a prison made of our own design. I challenge you to make today a landmark day in Strixhaven's history, a day where Strixhaven leaves its cage and flies free to forge a multiverse where good triumphs, where evil is banished, and where freedom prevails. as he goes quiet, there is a hush over the crowd with everyone watching to see how they react. Shadrach Silverquill steps forward and he points a finger up at Geordie. He says, "Your insolence and insults will not be tolerated here. We will not be lectured by a self-righteous extremist. Strixhaven is not a military. It is not a charity. It is a school, as it has always been. Your inability to celebrate the advancements of our institution just confirms our decision. Your tenure has been short, and today it comes to an end." Jojira, flying up in the sky, holds his arms out, looks at the other founders and said, "Can I assume that he speaks for you all?" Velomachus steps up next to Shadrax and says, gently, "It's time you learned your place, young one." Geordie looks at all of them. "If that is your decision, then there's nothing left to say. You will right your wrongs, or they will be righted for you. Justice or chaos." And you see him teleport out of the sky and disappear.
Did we just make the villain a bigger villain?
Huh?
Did we just make the villain a bigger villain?
I would.
The crowd just erupts in chatter about what has happened. All attention seems to be off of the stage where the founders are looking at each other. A few of you that have the higher passive perception notice that the founders all are reacting somewhat differently to this. Shadrax and Velomachus feel unified in the correction of this and the maintaining of their authority. You see Galazeth taking this all in, sitting back I'm not sure this is my circus or my monkeys. Tanazir is there just kind of, you can see her just empathic about everything, is everyone okay? What are we doing here? Beladros, however, looks a little pleased at what just happened. All right, your turn to talk.
Ovi is going to immediately hit Shadrax with a telepathic message, assuming it's not still being shielded, which it might be. But
hey, Aaron, could you put headphones in since I'm recording?
I'm going to message and just say, with a little bit of snark, "Thanks for checking in. You just condemned Casimir to his death."
Tell me again who you sent that message to. Sorry.
Silverquill. Shadrax Silverquill.
Okay.
I don't know if he can hear it. He might be shielded, but I sent it.
You do see him kind of turn his head as he recognizes your voice, and he says, "Young one, this is not the first time that people have tried to strong-arm us into something that we are not. It's okay."
No. Casimir.
You're saying you just sentenced him to death, right?
Casimir to death, yes.
Yeah. I believe in Casimir. He is shrewd and he is strong.
If he pays attention at all, Ovi's just radiating disappointment, but not saying anything.
Okay. Brian, you're muted.
I would also like to send a message to Gal, telepathic message,
Okay.
and say, "I don't disagree with your decision, but I am worried about the consequences of it. I hope that I can come to you for help if Strixhaven needs it.
Get it in.
The message that you get back is a little more dismissive than, or a little more despondent, I think, than you might have expected. And he messages back, just not sure how much more of this place I can take.
I don't want to be around
Okay.
anymore.
I don't respond. I just take note. Okay.
Tonight is the Silver Quill Masquerade, so you have some time to talk amongst yourselves, to meet with anybody, or if you are ready, we can fast forward to this evening.
How approachable are the founders?
The founders
Like, if
are-
I wanted to go talk to Dr. V, he'd...
Yep. He would make time for you.
I would like to at least touch base and let him know, like, I'd like to talk in private
So
after
each of
the
founders,
humbug of this event.
each of the founders kind of head to their respective campuses to check in. The crowds of the students are around them. They obviously have time set aside to check in with the deans and some of the professors. And you are actually invited to, he's there with Dean Bectus. If you are okay her being there, she'll leave if you don't want her to be, but the two of them are there and are willing to chat with you if you're up for it.
Dean Bectus is a nice lady. She can stay. I'd like to relay to Dr. V that kind of like the background of me getting Yelvin Dabo nominated for the primary and feeling quite responsible for his death
Well, you are.
at the hands of the candidate who won the Lord Hole primary.
You see when you say that, like a dark shadow come over his eyes. You say, "What about Yelvin Dabo?" And he looks at Dean Bectus, and she says, "I was about to share that news with you about the meddling in our primary." And he looks back at you. He says, "This was not your fault. Where is the body?" Dean Bectus, you're in her. Let's say you're in her lair. She actually points to the back corner, and she's like, "I've asked for the body to remain with me in a gentle repose until your arrival." And he looks at the two of you, and he goes over, and he begins to utter an incantation that you might recognize as a raise dead spell. And he resurrects Yelvin Dabo there, who sits up, disoriented, suddenly brought back to life, a little shaky, but kind of his normal kind of repose. He's got these white, robes on as his hands have kind of been, wrapped over his chest, kind of mummy style. He utters a few incantations, and the wraps kind of beautifully unravel themselves, and kind of clothes start to materialize over him. And he stands up looking at Dr. V, and he says, "You are not supposed to do that." And he says, "Your time is not up, my friend. You have far more to say here. And there is much going on that we need your help with."
Is that who we just got all the stuff from?
Yes.
Yeah.
So do we have to give it back? Okay, good. No take backs.
Oh, everyone's like,
Don't ask.
So just for above the table, so Raise the Dead, he's like back, or is this like enough time to interrogate him and then he like zombies
nope,
or like?
It's not speak. It is he is. So raise dead is you have to do it in a really short period of time. Resurrection's like it's been dead for centuries kind of deal.
Gotcha. Well, I'd like to formally apologize to Yelvin and say, hey, I didn't know. Trying to get you to run in the prom. I didn't know this would happen.
He holds up
I
his
was trying
hand
to
and
do
he says,
what was best.
it's my own fault. It's one of my bigger flaws. I believe in the education of students. I never wish to believe that they have been radicalized. They caught me unawares. As much as I want to say I won't let my guard down again, that is not the fabric of what true hope and faith really is.
And then I'd like to say, well, you missed a pretty powerful speech from your peer today, Joe Gyra, at the Oracle announcement. I'm afraid a fight for Strixhaven is at our doorstep.
Oh?
And I turned to Dr. V, kind of feeling like I'm quite out of my depth on what Joe Gyra's implications mean for the school.
Strixhaven has fought before, and it will fight again. You seem quite worried. What do you know?
All right, fuck it. A Demigod Titan's coming imminently to campus. And he has made a pact with Professor Narcales.
Oh, yeah.
What do you know of this pact?
Former professor.
Got it.
What do you know
Without
of this pact?
Unfortunately, not enough. It is something to give him the confidence to confront you today, but the nuance of what boon he has received has not been found out yet.
So Dean Bectus and Professor Yelvin are a little confused. The term demigod titan is not familiar to them.
Wow, now you have to explain that.
And but Dr. V looks around and he catches their like, you want to kind of loop us in? He says, the Titan is one of the greater enemies of mages in the known multiverse. They are sequestered to a planet they have all but eaten alive. And lucky for us, they lack the power to leave. They are parasites. They're locusts. They come and they destroy everything in their wake until there is nothing left. And then they move on. And he looks at the two of them and he says, to be clear, I believe what Macklin has just said. And you should act accordingly in preparing for Strixhaven to fight.
True, true.
He looks at you, Macklin, and he says, the truth is, I care deeply about Strixhaven. I don't want to see it burned to the ground. It can be saved, and it should be saved. We will need all of our might together to fight this.
Agreed. Well, I'm here for, if I'm not
A
here
good
for
time, not a long time.
God damn it.
Sorry.
I'm not here anymore. I leave. No. All right. That's all I had to
Anybody else?
say.
I'd like to go buy a bag of holding.
Done. Got it.
Thanks.
Mhm.
You're such an efficient shopper. That was very well done.
Yeah.
That is how I shop.
Does that question your security on your items?
I just would like to have some of these items on me and not just like in a discreet unknown location.
Fair enough.
Sure.
All right. Well, if we're using the afternoon, the night of the Strixhaven Masquerade is approaching. If it's fun and you want to talk about what you're going to wear, you're welcome to do that. I will show you an inspiration photo for the level of, let's say, pageantry that you can expect.
Like it.
This is definitely giving like the fairy ball from Dr. Noro and Mr. Strange. The TV.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
She also looks like a peacock. Blue, a big feathery train.
A peacock, huh?
Like one that just like absolutely drowns her because she's so small. I want it like ornate. But thank God I now have this new belt that gives me insane strength so I can wear it and I won't like be weighed down. So
Love it.
I would say me and my band all show up in like black lace and leather.
hot.
Different
Daddy
outfits,
move.
but thematic. Yeah.
I would like MacGruber is gonna cast Disguise Self to make his facial scarring like have a glow to it, kind of like ethereal like fog. And then I'm gonna have like the other half of my face. I'm gonna do like Phantom of the Opera style masquerade mask that's like
Cool.
broken around stars.
Mm-hmm.
I think Garrett's gonna try to mimic Gal as like a ode to Prismari and do very like flamboyant, like bright colors, like just like in your face, completely against what Garrett does, but is like trying to embrace the whole Prismari ancestry.
Good.
I would like to have a pantsuit. Oh,
That's my vibe.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bit of Garrett's vibe too, honestly.
Wait, show it again.
Hold on. Can I just wild shape into a peacock?
Sure. Love it.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
that's a bit of Garrett's vibe is the bright colors and the feathers and all that too. But not
Same.
literally peacock.
I feel like because Delta and I are twins, I'm going to run some themes of maybe her colors through my outfit. But I want to do a pantsuit with like long tails that are almost like a train. And I want the legs of the pants to be kind of wide where it's almost like maybe it's a skirt. And I want the top to just be a vest with nothing underneath.
Whoa.
And
like some type of headdress or something.
yeah, some type of a dope ass headpiece.
Yeah.
Or maybe like my hair's braided into some cool like feathers and stuff.
Nice.
Feathers. We like feathers, this group does.
Uh-oh.
Indigo wants to be wearing something that just like really matches the new handbag she just got.
Cool. Cool.
The bag of holding.
Yes.
There you go. Awesome. Well, as you all are processing the events of the day, everyone on campus makes their way to Silver Quill. Grand Loft Hall is already a stately structure, but it has been taken up a notch. The floating lanterns, the wild peacocks and monkeys and familiars that flood this campus are all around. There's some magical scent in the air that is just beautiful and intoxicating. And as you go around, you see these familiars and various other creatures kind of wait staffing. And there are cocktail locations all over campus. And the cocktails are an experience. Some of them conjure memories. Some of them invoke emotions. Some of them allow you to have fantastic features for a moment. Everything, though, is done to the utmost degree. There's so much food everywhere from all different walks of life. All the different species on campus have, everything is a delicacy on there. You see horses prancing through campus. Casimir and his cadre of vampire swan are dressed in this fiercely beautiful clothes. Everyone is kind of taking it more, some people are taking it more seriously than others, but everyone is looking dressed up tonight. You'll remember you had these little pins that everyone got. So everyone is allowed to wear, to project an image of their clothing that everyone might want to have there. Professor Vivienne comes up to you, Ovi, and you might remember, because Casimir is now the Oracle, she is now the voice of the Oracle, which is the highest, will be the highest ranking member of the faculty on campus. She is dressed to the nines, everything in this dark red lace that is very tastefully done. Plunging neckline, accentuating her beautiful figure. This mane of hair that is just curls. And she comes up to you, holds out both of her hands to grab your hands. And she says, "Darling, what a wonderful, wonderful day. Shirley, did you enjoy it? Tell me, did you enjoy it?"
What a show. It was quite the theatrics.
Right? Oh, all day I've just had tingles everywhere.
I bet you did. I'm going to laugh like she told a joke really loudly and then telepathically hit her. Enjoy it while you can. I think the clock's ticking on his life expectancy. Keep your guard up.
She looks at you and she said, basically, if you had just proposed, it could not have been more music to her ears. Like, there's drama. I live for this, darling. And she kind of cups your hand in one face and then kisses you on the other cheek, leaves a big red kind of lipstick print, Jessica Rabbit style on your, and then kind of slowly saunters away, just this elegant flame of a being that all eyes are on as she continues to make her way around.
Perfect.
As anything anyone wants to do while you're here before I give you a few more details? As you're walking around campus, all of a sudden the music stops, and you hear Casimir stand forward and say, "Friends, tonight is a night of invitation. The spirits of those who have gone before us join us tonight. Please come see all that Silver Quill has done and hear the stories, legacies, traditions, legends as they come forth from the beyond." And as soon as he does that, you see kind of walking towards campus from all sides, ghostly, translucent figures that are all, many of them are also dressed in this kind of Victorian masquerade kind of feel. They're not, some of them, they're clearly see-through, but they are walking around as if they are present. They are darkly masked in these very white, expressionless, dark-eyed masks. But they come in, they're all ages, all races, coming out of the graveyard. And as they come in, a mist kind of floods the ground, creating this ethereal, almost cloud-like cover as you see these figures from all throughout history begin to join the party. As you mingle, as you kind of listen in, and as the night goes on, you begin to hear stories. You begin to interact with some of these figures from the past. Many of them have quite a bent of ego associated with them. But I will say Delta and Hattie, you were the first to notice. Y'all are now fairly familiar, Delta in particular, with the Auric. And you'll remember there was an Auric, there was a gray-skinned ASMR, long fingernails. She and Flint were often seen together. You spot her come up to Dean Pellinistra, who is present, and grab her by the arm, and they begin to leave the kind of campus area, kind of going off into the mist.
I know I just told you guys about my baller ass peacock outfit, but is there a way I can wild shape into something very small and follow them?
Sure. Yeah, you get a couple of uses of wild shape a day, so you can switch to a day.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Well,
so what do you wild shape into?
like a ladybug.
Okay. Oh, real little. Okay.
Yeah, like I would like to be like, I don't want to be seen, but I would like to follow.
Okay. As you follow them, kind of flying into the mist, you hear this very millennial voice, like, it's just tragic, isn't it? Like, kind of that voice talking to Pellinistra. You follow her. They go way off campus, way into the graveyard, farther than you would probably have expected them to go. They tend to get a little bit of distance. Go ahead.
Does Pellinistra seem comfortable with this?
You see her, you've now spent enough time with her, you see her defenses starting to go up, that she is being isolated. Obviously, she knows the Auric probably just assassinated Jadzi. Auric probably just assassinated Yelvin Davo. And she also knows she ran against Geordie for the Oracle. And so you see her defenses are way, way up. This is still technically a student, so you don't get the sense, like, she's going with it, trying to kind of bide her time. And you can hear her kind of answering these mundane questions. But you see her get led kind of out into this mist, into this clearing area, and in the center there's kind of a raised area, and you hear the voice of this girl just start to say, it wasn't really lost on us that you ran against the Auric leader. And I'm not completely sure how you did that with your tattoo and all, because that seemed like a really clear directive that he wanted us all to win. And I'm just saying, I think you cheated somehow. And I think you need to be punished. And you see her let go of her arm and release an incantation, and a bunch of ghosts flood the area, and this big kind of hand made up of earth grabs her and holds her still as she ushers a silent spell over Pellinistra to stop her from using magic. This is what you see. Here's Pellinistra being held up on this plinth. Here is Vodasi, the ASMR. You'll remember that's what she looks like. Oh, can y'all see that? Remember that's what she looked like? And you'll see all of these little ghosts begin to surround, and each are beginning to basically try and possess Pellinistra simultaneously. What would you like to do?
That's a great question. I think this fight is well fought with. I'm gonna fly back to my friends.
Oh, and leave her? Okay. Now remember you have the bracelets on too, the SOS bracelets, right?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll SOS. SOS, real
All
fast.
of you get an SOS from Delta, and per the rules of this item that we've invented, you know exactly where she is.
Gangbusters.
Cat comes running.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Can
so
y'all all do like the Power Rangers intro? You know?
yes.
Yeah, we have to announce ourselves one at a time. Ovi,
Right?
Gary.
And then and then you have to do one aerobatic move.
Right? Unnecessarily complicated aerobatic move.
Yes. Okay, so explain what's happening again. She has summoned hands.
Yeah.
Go.
So
Go.
Pelanistra is being held against her will and is not able to cast spells. The ghosts are all trying to get into her mind, so she's trying to shield her mind. And Bodasi is there, and she's monologuing when you walk in about how she's betrayed them all. If you're going to engage, we can roll initiative. If not, tell me what you want to do.
I'm part of the org. I can't do much. I'm gonna wait for my friends.
Now, here's what I'll say. Given what you know about the tattoos, you are forbidden from acting in the Auric against an Auric directive. Based on Delta, everything you've heard, this girl seems to be acting on her own accord. Like, it does not appear that she was given a directive to do this. So I don't think you're pretty sure, because I want this to be fun, you're pretty sure you will not get in trouble if you intervene.
Okay, then I am going to say, hold it right there.
Okay, great. Then let's do initiative. How close would you be? Y'all are kind of hidden over here in the corner. And this is, you have some cover. These are like stairs up, stairs down, whatever. So we could say that you are, kind of peeking around the corner here. Does that sound like a good spot for everybody?
Yeah.
All right, everybody roll initiative, please. Let's have some fun with your new powers.
I'm obviously out of my ladybug.
Right. Okay.
I got a 21.
Okay.
25.
Woo, Garrett. Was that a natural 20?
No.
Okay. Wow, how'd you get such high decks? Fantastic.
17.
MacGruber's 21.
Damn, guys, look at you.
14.
Okay.
16.
16. All right, Garrett, you are up.
Okay. Let's do. Let me cast.
All right, let's see.
How many ghosts are there?
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. How many could I get in a 20-foot radius or 20-foot diameter sphere?
20-foot diameter?
Yeah, 10-foot radius.
Yep. This is 20 feet right here. So you could probably get 2 of them.
That's not as fun. Let me cast Wall of Fire. Well, do I know anything about ghosts? Like, do I know any of their like immunities or like?
If you
What?
want to use your turn to think about it, you can.
I feel like
So
none of this is gonna
ghosts.
work because they're ghosts. How about I just cast? I'm gonna cast Hypnotic Pattern and
Okay.
see if it works on any of the ghosts plus the one Orc gal.
Okay. What's the range or what's the space that takes up the hypnotic pattern?
It is a 30-foot cube within range.
So we'll go up to 30 feet. So it's this square, not this circle. So it's 30 feet on each side. Let's see. How many could we get? If you want her, you're going to have to give up some ghosts to do that. You could do probably something like that and get her and 2 ghosts.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Okay. What's the spell save DC?
It's a wisdom save, 17.
Okay. She does look affected by this. The ghosts, however, it does not seem to faze them at all.
Okay. Does she drop concentration then, since she's now...
She doesn't appear to have summoned them, more called them.
No, but didn't she cast Silent on...
Oh, good question. Yeah. What are I don't know the terms of hypnotic pattern.
I mean, she's completely, charmed and incapacitated.
So the rules of concentration are you have to, if you take damage, you then have your, I don't know how incapacitated and concentration works. Do you know, Seth? I don't know if I've ever had this scenario.
I think you
Typically,
get
only you do concentration checks when you take damage. So she is still concentrating on this, but she'll make a save every turn?
No, she's just incapacitated for a minute.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. What else would you like to do?
I would like to make that a bonus action and then let me cast cantrip. I'm just going to do a firebolt at one of these ghosts and see if that does anything.
How are you casting a second spell? The hypnotic pattern is an action, right?
Yeah, I'm using my meta magic to make it a bonus
Quicken.
action. So I'm quickening.
All right. Who are you firing at?
Let's just do the one closest to me.
Okay, this one here. All right.
Sure.
Make an attack roll.
That is a 25 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. That's 12. That's
Indigo's
10.
next, and then MacGruber after one of them go.
What are you looking for?
You're 10. Oh, there it is. 22 points of damage.
Okay. You do see the fire hit, and it's like the magic part of the fire hits, but the physical part doesn't seem to. Its attention does whoosh, kind of like their head turns, but their body doesn't, to look at you.
Since I use meta magic, my Far Realm Shard can do its tentacle grab now.
Okay. Where's that?
Let's do that on let's do that on the same ghost I just hit.
Okay. And what do they need to do?
Charisma save.
Of
17.
14.
Okay. So he is grappled and will take psychic damage, 3d6.
Yep.
10 points of damage.
So the creature takes all of that damage, and you can tell as it shrieks, but it is immune to being grappled, so the tentacle does kind of fly through it and is unable to find purchase, but the psychic damage does seem to hurt it a lot.
Good to know.
Sure.
Okay, that's the turn.
Great. Indigo, you're up. And
Okay, would you say that I am hidden, so I would have a sneak attack advantage?
you can use your bonus action to hide.
And then attack?
Yep, so do a stealth check. I have their passive perception up. It's very low. So as long as you make a stealth check that beats an 11, then you can be hidden.
Okay, well I have a bonus of plus 12 stealth, so.
Okay, so I will say yes, you are
Wait.
effectively hidden.
Okay, well I'm trying to go for the gray girl
Okay,
with my javelin.
okay.
So
now that's a save, right?
120 feet and DC dexterity save.
She's incapacitated. I think she automatically fails dexterity saving throws.
Cool. Okay, so with the advantage,
No.
what does that give me?
Um,
Like an extra D6 or something?
well, it's a ranged attack, but javelins don't have a long range. Does the weapon say how far you can throw it?
The javelin?
Yeah.
It's got a light
120
attack.
feet?
It's got a what?
120 feet?
Oh, for the magic of it. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, so then that would be... Do I roll for the type of it first?
I'm not reading it. Whatever
The
it says.
color? Well, I'm trying to find this sneak attack. Okay, deal an extra 6d6 damage to one creature that I hit.
Yep. So it's sneak attack because you're hidden. Yep.
Do the color first?
Yeah, do the color first.
Okay. Okay, I got a 2, so that's going to be acid.
Okay.
And then 66, okay, is an extra 66, so 2d10 plus 66.
Yep. Go for it.
For a total of 36.
Woo! Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. You see her as she's kind of been stuck in this stupor. All of a sudden, your javelin lands at her feet and splashes her with all of this acid that covers her, and she screams. Because she took damage, she's no longer affected by the hypnotic pattern. And so she turns to look and sees all of you for the first time. Anything else you want to do?
Does she maintain her concentration?
Ooh, that's a good question. She made a 25 on her saving throw, and it's half the damage she took, right, that she has to beat. So she beat an 18. So she does have concentration still.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide.
Okay. So make a stealth roll for me,
Okay.
just so I know what we're working with here.
17.
Okay. Sound good. All right. It is now her turn. You see her turn around, and her attention, which has been on Pelanistra, sees all of you kind of poking your head, except for Indigo. Sees all of you kind of poking your heads out from behind. You see these black skeletal wings fly out to either side of her on her back. As her hair, while it kind of glows white, it kind of has this like black flame candle effect to it. And she flies up into the air and begins uttering this incantation. It's not a spell, but she is going to use an effect called Blood Boil. She's going to choose a point within 150 feet and a 20-foot radius sphere. She is going to cast this, let's see, 20 feet, 20. If I do it sideways, I can hit everybody here. I might only get one of these, but I'm going to make it count. The sphere centered on a point that fills with a burst of searing blood red mist. Each creature in the area everyone needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
What's that advantage thing that I got in the forest last time?
Yeah, it was on your next saving throw, right?
Okay.
Good memory. I would have forgotten that.
You said
Remember dirty 20 bit.
I also got dirty 20.
Great. I need to know if anyone got less than a 17.
Me.
Okay.
Me.
You said Constitution?
Yes.
I got 13.
Shelby, you got less than 17.
Okay. On a failed save, so less than 17, you take 38 points of necrotic damage, and you are incapacitated until the end of your next turn. On a success, a creature takes half as much damage, which is 19 points of damage, and is not capacitated.
Is this even if I'm hidden?
Yes, because it was a save. You weren't targeted. You just happened to be in the space where this happened.
38?
38 if you got less than a 17.
That's the most I've ever gotten.
Finally.
Ouch.
And you see this kind of blood start dripping off of her long nails as she looks at all of you, and she yells in your direction, "Stay out of this." And it is MacGruber's turn. Then the ghost, then Ovi.
Man, she had high initiative.
Andrew, oh, you're muted.
I would like to break out from the pack, use some of my movement, move down towards that fountain to the bottom right, and then a little towards the group. And then I would like to create a Force Ballista Eldritch Cannon.
Okay. Okay, where do you want to put it?
I can only make it with it 5 feet in front of me is as far as I can make it.
Okay.
And then I would like it to shoot old Wings herself, the lady who just blooded us.
Okay. What's the range on the cannon?
It just says range spell, which I don't know what that default range is.
Click into
Let
it.
me
It
see.
should give you some more information.
Oh, okay. 120 feet.
Great. She is within that.
All right, so I will roll the hit.
So you're doing the Force Ballista? Great.
Correct. 15. Or no, wait. Yeah, 15 to hit.
15 does not hit.
Yeah.
Tight. Just wait, give me one. No, never mind. Here, I'll burn one of my luck points.
Okay.
And re-roll. 23 to hit.
That hits.
All right, there we go. And then 3d8. 8. And then 25 points of force damage.
Dude.
The main lady.
Wait, how did you get that? Oh, is
I
the
rolled-
damage go up?
I rolled 8. I rolled 8, 8, 5 plus 4.
Wow. All right. How much again?
25.
All right. Fantastic. 25. That hurt
I hope-
a lot. And it also pushes her back, right?
Yes, 10 feet.
Okay, so she's
just away
flying-
from me. So
She's flying over Pelanistra, kind of right now. And she needs to make a, for her silence, she fails. So the silence spell drops around Pelanistra,
Well done.
who I will roll into initiative here. All right, anything else you want to do?
Then I would like my cannon as part of its action to move 15 feet closer.
Okay,
And then that'll be it.
great. Sorry, I didn't have Pelanistra pulled up. Let me pull her up here real quick. She goes next, and from her vantage point, let's see. She is, let's see, her hands are tied, so she can't do somatics components. What can she do? Wow, these all require a lot of, here we go. One of the few things that she can do is cast darkness. And so in an effort to try and buy you all some time, she is going to cast a darkness spell that blocks the visibility of these three ghosts. Keep in mind, her hands are still restrained by her side, so she's a little limited on what she can do. And now the ghosts are going to go, and they can fly up to 40 feet. Let's see.
Can you remind me what being incapacitated means I can't do?
Yep, you can't take actions.
Okay.
Basically, grappled and restrained and incapacitated are like the tiers. What you can do. Basically, incapacitated is paralyzed.
Okay, thank you.
So these ghosts are going to fly and kind of start to get around you. They kind of are going to start to create a wall. I will say the other ones caught in the darkness are not able to do as much, but they are going to leave the protection back here. Let's see. I need y'all to make a few wisdom saving throws. Let's see. This is a melee attack. No one's in melee.
Are you guys sure about this fight?
I need 1, 2, 3. Actually, I need everyone to make a saving throw. If you roll higher than a wisdom saving throw, if you roll higher than a 13, you can stop. If it's lower than 13, then I need you to keep rolling until you get 13 and tell me how many rolls it costs you.
Do I still have my advantage thing?
Nope, you only had it on one roll.
Oh, I got it. Don't worry.
I got it on my first try. Everyone needs to roll for wisdom save.
Okay,
You need to
3
get it
rolls.
3
how many
rolls.
times.
Okay.
MacGruber was the first roll.
Delta was also the first roll.
It took me 2 rolls. It took Shelby 3 rolls.
Okay. For those of you that failed, so rolled more than one time, you take 10 points of psychic damage for every failure you had until you got it right.
I'm out.
All right. Ovi is down. Okay, anybody else? All right, it is Hattie's turn.
She's incapacitated, so
Okay, so you'll come back to at the end of this turn. Delta, your turn.
Oh, also incapacitated.
Okay. we are back to Garrett. Your turn.
Are all of the ghosts off of the ground?
They're floating off of the ground. Some of them are higher than others. Let's say the ones in the back are 10 feet off the ground. The 4 in the front are on the ground.
I would like to try to fit as many as I can in a 20-foot radius sphere, please.
Okay. Let's see. I think you could hit all 3 of these in the air.
Okay. Can I do the ones that are closer to us? Could I get like the 3 that are closer to us?
In a 20-foot radius or diameter?
Radius.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's 40 feet. Let's see. 10, 20, 30, 40. You could get these 3.
Okay.
Here,
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll say you can get these 3 or these 3, whichever ones you want.
Let's do that top 3.
Top 3. 1, 2, 3. What do they need to do?
I'm going to cast Synaptic Static at a 5th level, and it's an intelligence saving throw. They got to beat 17.
Okay. They have no bonus to intelligence. So I got an 11, an 18, and a 19.
God damn it. All right. Well, one of them's going to get beat the fuck up.
This one right here is already wounded. So there's no half damage on a fail?
Oh, yeah, there is half on fail. Sorry.
Okay. Indigo, you're next.
33 points of damage is the full.
Okay. That one disappears.
And then half.
Yeah,
So what? 16, 17
Yep.
for the rest.
Okay.
And let's just keep the magic rolling. I'll burn some more meta magic, make that a bonus action. And as I do that, my shard does its thing again. Let's have a tentacle hit the one closest to me.
Okay.
And that is a charisma saving throw.
Failed.
Okay. So that's another 16 points of damage.
What kind of damage is it?
Psychic.
Psychic. 16 points, huh?
Yep.
Okay. That hurt
And
bad.
so Synaptic Static. And then since I made that bonus action, I'm going to do a Mind Sliver
Okay.
at that same one.
All right. Failed.
Intelligence.
Natural 5.
9 points of psychic damage.
Okay. This one's gone. All right.
And-
Indigo. Ovi is unconscious next to you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
I just want to move. I want to get away from the crowd. You
Okay,
can
up
just
here?
send me away from. Yep.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Indigo.
That blood mist got me, so am I incapacitated?
Let me remember here. Yeah, if you failed, then yes, you're incapacitated until the end of, end of your turn.
So can I do anything?
Nope, but you can move at the end of this turn.
Oh, I'm so glad that I reminded you that I was incapacitated
Yeah,
then.
good call. As Vodasi, who's now been pummeled a couple times and sees Pelanistra, she is going to turn and cast a pretty intense series of spells that just start to rake over Pelanistra, covering her in blood and gashes. But you can tell this is her objective here. And Pelanistra gets pretty hurt. MacGruber, your turn.
How far is Ovi away from me?
10,
Is he within
20.
6 feet?
Oh yeah, easily.
I would like to cast the cantrip, Spare the Dying,
Okay.
and that stabilizes Ovi.
That's right. So no death saving throws.
And then I would like my Eldritch Cannon to once again
You wanna
shoot
check on him?
the main gal.
Say that again. So you wanna do the cannon again?
Yes.
Okay. At who?
The main lady, what's her name?
Oh, Vodasi. Okay.
Vodasi.
So the cannon
If I'm gonna kill her, I should learn it.
hits her again. She needs to make a save, or are you doing a hit? You're doing a hit.
It's a hit. Yeah. Oh man, and it sucks. I'm gonna burn my second luck point. Oh, natural 20. Let's ride.
Beautiful.
All right, so all right, 16 doubled plus 4, so 36 points of force damage.
Woo. Beautiful. Okay, that does a lot of damage and pushes her away from you again, right?
Yes, another 10 feet.
Okay.
Hopefully further from Palanistra.
Stand back here.
And then I would like to use my movement to get closer to Ovi.
Okay. You can get right next to him.
Perfect.
Okay. It's the ghost's turn. They're going to get closer. So they can move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. That's not quite close enough. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Not quite enough. And this one can get about here. So 2 of them are going to make attacks. I'm going to say these other ones finally just get out of this darkness here, but don't feel a little disoriented. So they're not going to move any more than that. 2 of them make attacks against Delta and one against MacGruber. It's actually 2 attacks. Delta, first one is a +5. 24 to hit and a 14 to hit.
The 24 hits.
Okay. Actually, I'm just going to use this. 19 points of necrotic damage.
Cool, cool, cool.
And then MacGruber. Double 3s. Even with the +5, I don't think either of those hit.
Nope.
Okay. It is Pelinistra's turn. She is going to whisper a healing word and resuscitate Ovi, which is one of the few things that she can do. Ovi, you come back to life as she is desperately hoping you guys can help her out of this situation. And it is your turn.
How much did I get healed for?
How much does a 5th level healing word work?
Oh, really good. 5th level. That's going to be 10d4 plus 4.
What's half of that? So 24 points of healing.
Okay, I'll take it.
One of the things that she learned in her tenure.
1 second. Nope, don't do that. 24 healing point. Okay. My turn. We're gonna do boom. Bonus action, channel divinity. Obi's got a second.
Yeah, that's right.
Me, and then my party's looking pretty rough, aren't we? Okay, I'm also going to cast Mass Healing Word. So everybody in the party is going to get, come on, where are we at? There we are. Sorry, Mass Healing Word. Cast that. Maybe not so much. Damn it, so many ones. 15 healing points.
Great.
That'll be my turn. What am I doing way up there? Why are you moving me?
Sorry, where did you want to put him?
Kind of behind the grave.
Which, over here? This grave here?
Am I not? Yeah, isn't that a grave? Like
Yeah.
there's a headstone there, maybe?
Yeah.
We can,
So like just over here behind with you?
yeah.
Great.
We're,
Okay. And you're gonna stay put there?
yes, but for point of, I don't know if this will matter, but since we're on Silver Quill campus, I do have my familiar Rhapsody with me.
You do. Yeah.
So, but that's my turn.
Okay. Do you want to give any directions to Rhapsody?
Rhapsody actually is going to, no, not yet. I'm going to give directions later.
Okay. So Rhapsody is near you.
Yeah.
All right. Hattie, you are now no longer incapacitated and free to do some things.
Oh no. I shoot arrows at the bad people that look like they're hurt.
Okay. You have, so let's see. This one and this one have been hit already. The two that are closest to you.
Okay.
And then
Let's
there's one-
You have your new thing, don't you?
hit him again. Yeah, but it doesn't. I don't really have a lot of information about the spell, but okay. Okay, shoot. Pow pow.
All right, so it's a bonus action spell. You transmute your quiver so it produces an endless supply of non-magical ammunition, which seems to leap into your hand when you reach for it. On each of
Really?
your turns until the spell ends, you can use a bonus action to make 2 attacks with the weapon that uses ammunition from the quiver. Each time you make such a ranged attack, your quiver magically replaces the ammunition with similar pieces. Any pieces of ammunition created disintegrate when the spell ends. If the quiver leaves your possession, the spell ends.
Okay, so 21 to hit on the first
That
arrow.
hits.
Okay, 1d8. There's 3. 5 damage.
Okay.
And then I get another attack. That's 14 to hit.
That hits.
8.
Okay. This one's gone.
And so then the bonus action, I can shoot another one.
You can shoot 2 more. I'm going to fudge this a little bit and just say you can fire 2 this turn. Typically, you cast the spell 1 turn and get the credit, like the ability to use it the next. But I think that's stupid. I think you should be able to fire it the turn you cast it. So yeah, you can make 2 more attacks.
So is this description in this correct with the spell where, like, depending on the level that I cast it, there's a save DC and an attack bonus and all that, or not? That's what I'm confused about.
That's not part of this spell. I mean, unless it's part of something new.
Because that has charges. Is that,
This one doesn't have charges. Oh, no, sorry. You're using your bow to cast a spell on your good bow, right? Is that what you're saying?
I
That's
don't
fine with
know.
me. That's fine with me. If we want to merge them somehow, that works.
I'm just trying to look at it in D&D Beyond. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I don't understand all of the features of both of them, so I don't actually know what I'm doing.
Use your kill skull. What I wanted to do is give you double, like just 2 extra shots. So you can use your regular bow with your kind of additional psychic damage options.
Okay.
So like the +9 to hit, 1d8 +3, plus you
Yeah.
can use up to 4 charges.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Who are you firing at? This other one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
What am I rolling? Attack?
Yep. Attack plus 9.
13.
That hits.
And then what's the psychic damage thing?
So you use a charge to add a 1d8 of psychic damage.
Plus what I'm already damaging?
Yep. So you'd roll 2d8 plus 3 for this damage, and then you can roll again to hit.
So that's 9 damage.
Okay.
And then 14 plus 9 to hit.
Yep. Beautiful.
2d8 again or just
Yep.
1?
Nope. If you want to use another charge, you have 4 charges. So you
Okay.
can use it again.
15 damage.
15 damage. This one looks really hurt.
Okay.
Beautiful. You want to move? You want Chessie to do anything?
Yeah, let's let Chessie just bite the absolute shit out of someone.
Okay.
The one that looks really hurt.
Can they bite a ghost?
Yeah,
A ghost?
Can dogs bite ghosts? We're about to find out.
The arrows you hit, while the psychic damage did a lot, the physical stuff only did about half. So
That's
the
fine.
physical, they do get affected by physical stuff, just not the full brunt of it.
Okay. So, oh, never mind. She farted and fell down.
What was it? Was it 1?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, Delta, your turn.
Alrighty. Yeah, I would like to. I don't have anything. Okay, I'm going to conjure animal,
Okay.
and I'm going to do 2 dire wolves.
Okay. Beautiful. Okay, where do you want them?
We're probably just going to go attack the main gal for this first one.
So remember, she's flying in the air.
Sick. Okay, then whichever you say they take half damage for physical stuff.
Yep.
None of this is force, so you can put me by 2 ghosts that are close to each other. I'd like them to keep their their pack.
Oh, okay. Pack tactics?
I don't want them to be.
I
Yeah,
think they have to
I don't
be
want them to
within
be-
5 feet of each other to get the bonus.
Are there any ghosts that are that close together?
I mean, these two are reasonably close. They're not side by side. No ghosts are right next to each other, no.
Okay. That is fine, and then I will attack them.
Okay?
Which, let me... I'm guessing 15 doesn't hit.
It does hit.
Oh, it does?
It's a very low AC. It's only 11. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to roll twice for each wolf?
How many attacks do they get? Or is it that they get advantage?
We just bite.
Okay. But 1 bite? Or 2 bites?
Says +5 to hit, reach 5 feet, 1 target.
Okay.
It's piercing damage. If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay.
Just 1.
Okay. So yeah, I'd say both of them hit.
Okay. Then
They are immune to being prone, unfortunately, because they're ghosts.
so you need to succeed on a strength saving throw, did you?
No, you do
Nope.
damage first, babe.
Oh,
So
plus
you roll 2d6.
+3.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Double ones.
Well,
5.
Yeah.
This one was very, very hurt. So that actually anything only had 2 points. So
Snake Eyes? Are you kidding me? Snake Eyes?
so I'll say
Okay,
this
and then-
one attacked that one, knocked it out, and then you can roll damage against this one for this wolf.
9.
9 to hit or 9 damage?
9 damage.
9 damage.
Okay, sounds good.
And then I don't think you can knock a ghost person. So.
I know he said that. But before my turn ends, I would like to summon my spirit totem.
Okay.
We would do the bear, so everyone would get 16 temporary hit points, and then it's advantage on strength, I believe.
Great. Everyone gets temporary hit points, 16.
Yeah. And advantage on strength checks and saves.
While you're in the aura. Very good. All right, that's the end of initiative. Why don't we pause here since it's 9:30, and we'll pick up and finish this round next time. So be thinking about, we'll go, Garrett, you'll kick us off, and Indigo will go next and see what happens to this Dark Angel. Can we chat real quick about dates coming up?
Yes.
I'm out next week. And are we on for the 3rd?
We will be in Portugal.
That's the 3rd.
Oh.
Round 2.
That's right.
Hopefully.
Wanted to do it again.
Okay.
But
so-
we'll be back for next week.
Okay, so we're looking at the 10th right now. Everyone good for the 10th? All right. Sounds good. All right, everybody. Well, hopefully this story is inspiring you, and we're going to see what happens next.
Thanks, Jimmy.
I'm very